In this video, we're going to be comparing our 2012 McLaren MP4-12C to modern supercars, the years 2024 and 2025, and your minds are going to be blown because this car still stacks up and even beats cars that are triple its value, and it's just absolutely crazy. So first off, let me tell you the specs of this, and then we're going to go down the list. The McLaren 12C has 600 horsepower. It weighs 2,900 pounds. Its 0 to 60 is 3 seconds. Some people have got 2.9, like some reviewers or whatever. And this car goes for about 100 grand right now in this market. It's got a carbon fiber tub or monocoque, or however you say that. And its Nürburgring time is 7 minutes and 28 seconds, I believe. I always get this one wrong, but here it is. And let's see how it stacks up against other cars of this year. All right, you have to think about this though. First off, the 12C is about 12 years old. And to give you an idea, the iPhone 5 came out 12 years ago. So for the 12C to stack up against these cars the way it does is very impressive. All right, our first car is a 2024 Nissan GTR. And the price is $133,000. It came with 564 horsepower. Already the 12C is beating that with 600, but its weight is 3,800 pounds. Now the 12C is only 2,900 pounds. That's a big weight difference. But based on the internet, the Nismo, because there's not a lot of records that the GTR has posted besides its Nismo, but its Nismo track time for the Nürburgring is 7 minutes and 19 seconds. And just to let you know, the Nürburgring time on a regular 12C is 7 minutes and 28 seconds. Its 0 to 60 time is 3 seconds. It's the same as the 12C. And when it comes to rarity, the GTR is a very popular car. There's over 40,000 of them. And with the 12C, there's a little over 3,000 at 3,400. So just to give you an idea, the 12C, you could pick it up for about $100,000 plus or minus 10 grand each way, in my opinion. But yeah, just crazy that it still stacks up against the GTR the way it does. More horsepower, lighter. GTR is definitely quicker because of its electronics. All right, going down. So we're going to talk about the 911S 2025. It's $150,000, so about $50,000 more. Its horsepower is 473, way less, and its weight is 3,424 pounds, so it's heavier. And it did do a Nürburgring time of 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Definitely new tech and stuff like that. Nice time. 0 to 60 is slower at 3.3. And definitely not as rare. So we decided we need to look at some better models in a Porsche lineup to compare to a McLaren. So we're looking at the 911, the 2024 911 GT3. Its price is $224,000, and you got to think about it, guys. That is double, double the price of a 12C. It's got 510 horsepower, which is almost 100 horsepower less than the 12C, and it still doesn't weigh as less as the 12C. It comes in at 3,278 pounds, but its track time is insane at 6 minutes and 56 seconds. We do know the GT3 is definitely a track weapon, great car, but its 0 to 60 is still slower than 12C at 3.2. Definitely not as rare as either, but it's crazy that the 12C still has more power, is lighter, and is quicker, but definitely not quicker over the track, around the track. So the 911 Turbo S is one of those weird cars where it's as fast or faster than GT3 in a straight line, not as fast on the track, but it's also kind of like a luxury car. It sits at $230,000. Its horsepower is 640, so 40 more horsepower than the 12C. It still weighs more at 3,649 pounds. Its track time is 7 minutes and 18 seconds from what I could find. It was a little rough, but its 0 to 60 time is actually quicker than the GT3. It's and the 12C. It's at 2.6 seconds, which is crazy. And definitely a Turbo S is not rare, but it's an amazing car. But still, just 40 more horsepower than 12C, but definitely double the price. So this was fun. The 2025 C8, I feel like the C8 kind of held some good numbers here. Its price starts at $68,000, which is impressive in my opinion. Horsepower 495, so definitely over 100 pounds less. Over 100 horsepower less. It weighs 3,500 pounds. Definitely a lot less than. I was impressed that it wasn't that heavy, but still 500 pounds heavier than a 12C. There is no track time for a regular C8, just a Z06, and its 0 to 60 time really was having a hard time finding that as well. So we decided to look at the Z06. Price is $113,000. Horsepower is 670, so definitely 70 more horsepower. So the Z06 wins on that. The weight is 3,700 pounds. That caught me off guard. It weighs heavier than the regular C8. So definitely 700 pounds heavier than the 12C. And its track time on a Nürburgring is 7 minutes and 10 seconds, which is definitely faster than 12C. And a 0 to 60 is 2.8, so definitely 0.2 seconds quicker. Production numbers around 14,000, not as rare. But in my opinion, so far looking at all these cars that we're going to be talking about, this is definitely the best bang for the buck in my opinion. But definitely still close numbers. All right, Aston Martin, $191,000, 656 horsepower, weighs 3,847 pounds, 800 pounds heavier, but has 56 horsepower more. Track time was 7 minutes and 43 seconds, slower than 12C, and 0 to 60 is 3.4. So double the price, and definitely the only aspect that it won was it has 56 horsepower, but definitely weighs heavier. But that's crazy. For $200,000, a 12-year-old McLaren is still winning. Aston Martin Vanquish, I did not know this, but its price is $427,000, 824 horsepower, weighs 4,211 pounds, no track records. I wonder why. It's probably really heavy, and I don't know if you could push that thing around the Nürburgring, but definitely a lot of power too. 0 to 60 with all that power and everything is still 3.2, so it's definitely heavier and slower off the line. Has a lot more horsepower, but it's almost 3 or 4 times as expensive than the 12C. All right, the Ferrari Roma, this one had me giggling. $243,000, 611 horsepower, weighs 3,461 pounds, so 400 pounds heavier, 461 pounds heavier than a 12C. No track time, no Nürburgring record. 0 to 60 is 3.4, so it's slower off the line. It weighs heavier. It's double the price, and it only has 11 more horsepower. Now, it is a little rare with 2,100 models being produced. All right, 2025 Ferrari 296 GTB. Price is $343,000. Horsepower 645. Weight 3,241. Track time 6 minutes and 58 seconds. Super fast. I think that was a record at the time. And 0 to 60, 2.4. So first off, for 3 times the amount, you only get 45 horsepower. But it's blistering fast, and 2.4 seconds off the line is crazy fast. So I would say that's pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely a fast car. I have to give this one. This one's definitely a fast car, and it's kind of one of the lighter cars that we've seen. Even though the 12C is at 2,900 pounds, 3,200 pounds is very light. All right, 2025 Ferrari SF90, $590,000. So like 5 times the amount of the 12C, 769 horsepower, 3,461 pounds, so still heavier than the 12C. No